here and look at the product line, the compensation structure, and then how best you can position yourself in this pre-launch environment. The hub of the nutritional wheel, the core of the product line, so to speak, is Custom Essentials, that nutritional regimen that is developed for each individual as a result of their urinalysis test. And the testing kit is part of your kit, along with the FedEx label to get it to the laboratories. Once you do this from a private moment at home, you'll get an 18-page report from the laboratories telling you exactly where you are, what you have too much of, too little of, and what type of nutritional regimen you should be on. And that can be fulfilled for about $56 a month. That is the core of the product line, and a lot of people have asked me, they said, Rick, you know, I've heard people using DNA testing for this type of situation. What's the difference? Well, quite simply, DNA is to the body as architecture is to the building. Whether a building is 2 years old or 22 years old, whether it's poorly maintained or well-maintained, it is still the same architecture. The DNA you have today is the DNA you were born with, even though you have a different environment you live in, a different lifestyle that you chose, and you're at different ages. And so the urinalysis test gives us the chemical makeup of your body at this point in time, and therefore what you should be taking at this point in time. And so with that in mind, we expanded the product line into nutritional beverages, what we call mood infusion beverages, 3 of them. A powdered mix, mixes with water, hot or cold, in which the first one is called Wind Up, to get you up and going in the morning. The next one is called Rewind, for that afternoon slump. And then finally Unwind in the evening when you get ready for that good night's sleep. And no nutritional program would be complete without a good, solid weight loss program. And that's our Silhouette Solution, developed by Dr. McCann, who wrote the book on the subject, and the book is included. It's not a meal replacement, it's your meals. Properly calibrated weight loss system. And Dr. McCann has been brought in as the in-house doctor for the Trump Network. Each one of these product categories alone, a very small percentage, could create $1 billion company in and of itself. That weight loss program solves those other diet problems of other programs that are inconvenient, too many carbs, always hungry, difficult to keep the weight off. The Silhouette Solution is simple, easy, convenient, low carbohydrate, no hunger, properly calibrated, tastes great with long-lasting results. And because we've had the beta test out already, we have the before and after pictures, we have the weight loss testimonials. Timing in life, well, it's everything, and your timing could not be better. Our type of business thrives in a recessionary economy, and the one we're in right now, well, it's a doozy. Wall Street is in crisis, falling home values, government bailouts, businesses downsizing, no retirement in sight. As Donald says here on the left, you have to be smart and plan for your future. You can't expect your job or the government to create your wealth. Speaking of wealth, let's talk a little bit about the compensation structure. It's a unilevel program, which means it's you don't have to sponsor the world to maximize the program. 6 legs, you could maximize this program. And if you were doing, each of those individuals were doing a normal amount of business, you'd be making about $200 extra a month. If each of those just got 5, your income would go over $1,000 a month. Do you realize that clearly 1/2 of the foreclosures in the United States could have been forestalled with the infusion of an extra $500 a month disposable income? Well, if each of those sponsored only 4, your income, $4,500 plus a month. If each of those sponsored 3, you're in a 5-figure monthly income. Each of those sponsor only 2, you just went over $32,000 a month. If each of those sponsored just 2, you are in one of those rarefied households with over $500,000 in annualized income. And we have a CAR program, we have a profit-sharing program. 58 cents out of every commissionable dollar is poured back into the distributor organization. So as Donald says here, without having to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can earn a part-time or a full-time income, even an income comparable to that of a CEO. So welcome to the pre-launch of the Trump Network. As Donald says on the left here, if you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big. I'd like to get into a little bit of how to get started and position yourself here in this pre-launch environment. But before I do, I want to give you a little history on how the growth curve works in network marketing companies. the left, in the formulation stages, when a company is getting together, its launch material, its product line, its literature, it moves into concentration when field leadership starts to emerge and the sales start to climb. And then if they're one of the very, very few lucky companies, it'll move into a stage called momentum, geometric growth. This is where the growth of the company magnifies and intensifies every individual's effort. So in other words, you put in 1X worth of effort, you don't get 1Y worth of return. You get 20 or 30 or 40Y worth of return. And then they move into that stability phase where your retirement, your family are taken care of for the rest of your life. So where are we in all of this curve? We're back here. We're at the beginning, the genesis, the sparking point. Folks, this is where the fortunes are made. The information I'm giving you right now is about 23 days old. There are millions of people that will be following you into this program. This isn't where you create make a living. This is where you create a lifestyle that you may very well deserve and want to become accustomed to. And if you position yourself right and work now, you'll be able to take advantage of what I call the Trump advantage. You see, if you remember, I made a prediction at the beginning of this call that this will become the largest network marketing company in history. I'm going to give you 3 indisputable facts right now that I'm sure you will agree that this will become a reality. Because the 3 facts I'm going to give you right now never occurred, ever, in the 70-year history of network marketing, and they are occurring right now in this company. First of all, most industries have 2 or 3 companies that take the vast percentage of market share. Ford, GM, and Chrysler with the car industry. Dell, Microsoft, and Intel with the computer industry. Well, there's over 1,000 companies in network marketing, but no one company even has double-digit market share. Companies have 2 or 3 or 4% market share, and yet there's 1,000 companies out there. Well, why is that? Well, because there's been no central leadership. There's been no concentration of effort. It's sort of like herding cats. We're all entrepreneurs going in different directions. Well, there is no one in the United States, or possibly worldwide, could mobilize the network marketing leadership better than Donald Trump. You see, other companies that were fortunate enough to go into momentum, they went into momentum because maybe 2 or 3 or 4% of the leadership in the industry moved into that company and helped it get there. The rest of the leadership didn't hear about it or weren't interested. But the name Donald Trump, which means business, which is a worldwide brand, mandates that all of the leaders in network marketing take a look at this company and make a decision. And that decision is either to ride in front of this wave, ride in front of the tsunami, and leverage for themselves and their organization the Trump name, the Trump brand, the Trump expertise, the Trump fortune, the Trump worldwide brand, or to make the decision to compete against it. You see, the leadership never had to make the decision to compete before. They just made a decision whether they wanted to join or not. If they decided not, it didn't matter. Most of the people wouldn't have heard about the program they were looking at anyway. Well, Donald will be on network broadcast TV this summer in front of tens of millions of people. Everyone's going to hear about it. And so this will mobilize and is mobilizing the leadership of network marketing all around the country. The second factor is that there is a segment of the population, and it's in the tens of millions, that has never accepted the legitimacy of network marketing as a viable form of merchandising. No matter what you brought to them, they would end up saying, if this is one of those pyramid things, I don't want it. Well, there is no one in the United States that can capture the minds of the public and convince them of the credibility of network marketing more than Donald Trump. His name means business. When he is on broadcast nationwide television saying, this is network marketing, this is my company, this is business, this is big business, join me. Well, those formerly closed minds, that formerly tens of millions segment of the population that was never in the pool of possible prospects for your opportunity is in the pool for this one. Never happened before in history. And finally, the third thing is massive exposure of this opportunity to the masses.